Okay, I just wanted to do a video on how to use up your scraps and those full 12 by 12 sheets that have a picture on them. I never really know what to do with those, so I started making those little folders for traveler's inserts. I think they come out really cute. You know, it's just a full picture when you open it up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my 12 by 12 and I'm gonna cut it down to 9.5. And the height's gonna stay 12 inches. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring it to 9. Actually, I'm gonna bring it down to 4 3/4 and score it down the middle. Then I'm gonna bring it to 9. So I score it and get a 1/2 inch score on the edges. Turn it over, bring it to 9 again. Score the other side. And then we're gonna, this ends up being 8 inches tall, so we're gonna score it at 8 inches so that it gives us a 4-inch score from the bottom. Okay. And all I'm using here is my scoring bone, some double-sided tape, a punch, some scissors, and just my cutting board. I'm just gonna fold on all those score lines. What you want to do is you want to cut this rectangle off here, and when you cut just inside this score line. That way when you fold it, it's not going to like be bulky because it'll take up more room. So you want to cut inside that score line. And it doesn't have to be perfect. And then I cut a little angle just above where that score line is. Let's do the same on the other side. Fold it in half. And then we're going to cut out this wedge right here. And don't go past that score line. Those up, fold that over, and then I'm going to score it right where they meet, just above there, because I'm going to cut out this little wedge also. And I want those to be the same. I'm just going to fold it to get the same angles. Because that's going to help me line up my strip. Okay. I'm just using some cheap double-sided tape just for demonstration. But I would suggest using glue or a stronger double-sided tape. Come off. And if you have a little bit of tape sticking over the edge, just fold it over, it flattens out. Sometimes I have a good sized piece over, but I still fold it over and it's fine. It doesn't make it thicker or anything. It flattens out really well. Let's do the same on this other side. Okay. And then you're going to take your strip like that you have either from your sheet or another strip you have, scrap you have lying around. And that you want that to fit within the 2 score lines here. So this score line in here ends up being, I believe it's 8.5. So you want to cut this down to 8.5. So the measurement in between those 2 score lines is 8.5. Okay, fits in there. You don't want it to go over, so if it's going over a tiny bit, just cut a tiny bit more off. Because otherwise when it folds, it's going to be kind of thick. So you want it to just fit within there, okay? And then you want to score this piece in half also. So we'll put that at 4 1/4. I want to do the back side so our scores line up. I fold the same way. And the reason I wanted my angles here to be the same, I cut them at the same time, is because when we fold this over, I'm going to put it on, line it up with that point right here. And so I want to do the same on the other side so that these line up. So we're going to line this up where we want it with that point. And then I'm going to score on top of that like I did before, because we're going to cut that little wedge out also. I'll just line it up and then score. Okay. Oops, got a little more than I wanted to there. a little off. You can tape or glue the centerpiece down. You don't have to. I did on this one. And it kind of, you can't use the whole width of the pocket, but I mean, you still have a lot of space and it's fine. You can even tape the bottom if you just want to have a smaller pocket, but really it's just for separation. I don't see the point in putting a whole sheet in here because I mean, you're not going to really be putting in there anything in there that you have to dig down in there to get out. It's just for separation. So just being able to use up any of your scraps that you have left over, or even that strip that after you cut down to make your folder, just go ahead and use it so then you don't have any scraps left over. I should have done this before, but what I did was I used my circle punch and I just punched those 2 half circles out so that I have a little bit of something in there. I like to round out my corners also, so I'm just going to use my corner punch here. I just think it gives it a cleaner look, and I like to do the back corner there too, because the Traveler's Notebooks, I don't know, it just kind of gives a little notch there so it doesn't dig into it or anything. So that's just what I like to do. I'm sure there's lots of other videos out there on how to do something like this as well. This was just my take on it. I hope you like it. If you do, go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe. Thanks.